What's up guys, Ronaldo here, and I am proud to say that I have found pretty much anything you could hope for this video, guys. I've done like 40 runs plus, yeah, for AOE Arena, that's right. I spent a bunch of diamonds for refills to not only find out my strats, but also find out strats for people that don't have the exact same units. And after watching this video, you will have some strats to apply to these fights in the new AOE Arena. And on top of that, the main part of this video is going to be analyzing your opponent, because if you are able to read the enemy team comp, you will be able to know exactly how you want to adjust your team comp to get some free wins, because you can really abuse the fact that you can see these enemy heroes and therefore know exactly what their plan is. Because I have the experience now after all these runs, I know how it works, right? But of course it is PvP, guys, keep that in mind. Therefore it will be a meta. You won't beat Comet, Boreas or Ardea with someone like with a greed. That's just not gonna happen, huh? So that foremost, just so you guys know, that's not gonna happen. You're not gonna beat these guys. So there is a meta. Since it's PvP, I will show you guys strategies and concepts that you can apply to your own account, and how you can read the enemy to actually be able to beat enemies such as this guy, 410k, yeah, 410k, legendary lord, huh? Exclusive hero, 3 insane mages, especially Boreas and Comet, and this with a team comp that doesn't really require as much as the second team comp. And the second team comp really are based around the enemy's starters, right? And the second way I played it, I can show you guys right now. Bam! There you go. This is Ace King. He's in my guild. He's a good friend of mine. He is also the guy who lended me his account for the Boreas Gear 2 showcase and the Boreas versus Comet DPS showdown that is going to come up. And yeah, he has, as you can see, 400k BP, Cyrus as his lord, a Boreas that is cracked out of his mind, and on top of that he also has a Comet, and he has everything in that team, and the Cerberus as well. He has everything in that team, and I managed to beat him. Not after the first attempt, not gonna lie, that was pretty much at the beginning where now I was figuring everything out, but I managed to beat him, and I learned a lot during that fight. And especially during all these like 30-40 fights, I learned so much because I specifically fought every hard opponent I found. I specifically tried to get on hard enemies such as Boreas with 400 KBPs or Ardeas with 400 KBP, stuff like that I wanted to beat. And I beat it, and I learned a lot, and I even went down the rabbit hole to find some more strategies that work for people that don't have the exact units as I do. As you can see, I have a bunch of defeats here as well, because I was figuring out a bunch of different stuff after I figured out my initial strat that works for me, to figure out some other strats for you. I just went and went, and I can guarantee you guys, you will be an expert in AOE Arena after this video. And I want to start off with the enemy team comps and your team comps, and I will have 2 different team comps that I'm gonna showcase you guys with some variations. But before I showcase you guys these team comps, I really think the most important part is now that I'm talking about, and that is the enemy team comps and the win conditions. So in this AOE Arena, the win conditions are wave 1, wave 5. They are probably gonna get the most damage to the enemy base. Yeah, if you can deal with wave 1 properly and deal with wave 5 properly, you're gonna have a good time. And the waves between, you can do chip damage most of the time, but against really strong enemies it's gonna be hard to get much done in these waves. But I also will showcase you how you really want to fight these waves as well. And now for wave 1, there's basically a few options to beat it as fast as possible. And if you don't see any of these options, immediately go and take the fight, because you will be able to beat them 100%. Easy. Yeah, I will showcase you guys right now after this a video where I beat the guy at wave 1 immediately, like bam, and he had 400 kbp. 400 kbp, wave 1, demolished. Huh? So what do you need to know about wave 1? There's four mobs coming in, and you want to get rid of them quite quickly. And the best enemies or units to take them down quickly are going to be Ardea, G, and probably Boreas are going to be by far the hardest enemies, whereas I actually believe Ardea is the hardest, and then Boreas. But yeah, Ardea is amazing for wave 1, and Boreas is amazing for wave 5, just like Comet. But yeah, Ardea, you will be quick at wave 1. Hatsud will be quick at wave 1. Then the most accessible comp, probably most comp that most people will have, will be a Cerberus plus Aatrox comp for wave 1. And the fourth unit that is amazing for wave 1, that I showcase you with my first wave clear against the enemy, is Silas with a legendary lord such as Venoma, because Venoma gets your ultimates up immediately with her ult, with her ult skill. Like the rage will be pretty much ready for Silas to go, and therefore Silas with a Venoma can get rid of wave 1 quickly, swiftly as well. And this is something you want to keep track of. And if the enemies don't have any of these units, they don't have a Venoma plus Silas, or they don't have a Hatsud, they don't have a Ardea, and they don't have a Cerberus plus Aatrox comp. This is basically the 4 units that you need to look out. Then you already have a free win in your pocket. You already have a free win in your pocket because of how slow they will take down wave 1. So you can see these guys all use Hatsud, and Hatsud is there to speedrun the first wave, right? So we're not going to use Hatsud. We're not going to fight her, but we're going to go into this one. And I'm going to showcase you what I mean by speedrunning the first wave. Against teams like this, you can really abuse teams like that with a first wave speedrun. So what you're going to do here is use Hatsud or Silas with Venoma, or use Cerberus plus Aatrox. Then we're gonna get rid of him, and as you can see, he needs a lot of time to clear this first wave. He needs a lot of time, and when he doesn't have that time, it's free. It is so free. Look at win at first wave, guys. Win at first wave. These enemies are so easy. They're so easy. This is the first strategy I want to showcase you, the win at one wave strategy. Yeah. One at the first wave. What can I say? This guy had 400 kbp, right? He had 400 kbp, he had a Cyrus, he had a Comet. It just didn't play his cards right. Now that you guys saw how to deal with wave 1 and know how to deal with wave 1, we can continue with this. And that really varies on your lineup. It really varies on your lineup. And I will showcase you now basically 2 different lineups. The one with Venoma is going to be the most optimal, of course. It's my unbeatable comp. But Venoma, not many people have, right? Therefore, I will also showcase you guys the other strat with a cursed faction team. And also I will showcase you a variation of that cursed faction team. With instead of cursed, they will be nightmare units. And if you have a Vladov instead of the cursed lord Aeon, use the Vladov, because your cursed units will deal a lot more damage, as you will be able to see in a replay against someone who has a cracked out team in a second. So yeah, let's get right into it, and let's start off with the cursed slash nightmare team, and with the wave 1 strategy of Cerberus and Aatrox. Let's get into it. So this is going to be our lineup. For that cursed team, you want to have 3 melee units, right? You really want to have 3 melee units. A Cyrus works well, Where is she? Ardea works wonders. She's a ton times better than Cyrus. Captain Reef is amazing for that. Valkyria works as well. Even someone like an Abomination works to a certain extent. You really just want 3 DPS, AOE DPS in this comp that are ground units that can block. Yeah, that's crucial. They need to be able to block. Now let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here against this guy with Boreas and Ardea. So top notch units. Ardea is extremely good. I feel like Ardea is one of the strongest. We're still gonna use this team comp to see how well they work and how much of work they can get done. Now we really are in a bit of a pickle because this guy's Ardea cleared the wave so quickly that we have to now hope for the best here in this wave and pop our ultimate already. And as you can see, Ardea is the best unit for this and Boreas is the second best, right? So it's gonna be a really tough fight, as you will be able to see. And now here, come on, get in there, perfect. We managed to block just in time, and now his Ardea is down, which is good, and we survived long enough, and we managed to actually get rid of him. And now he has to wait. Actually, he has a misplacement here. He has to wait for his Boreas to get the job done. Okay, so this was a bit scuffed, not gonna lie. I was hoping his Ardea survives, because the next wave we would have popped our Comet ult and rinsed. So we're gonna do it again, but here you go. We beat this guy with a pretty stacked lineup. And this is the damage. Aatrox is a menace. And now we have a other guy against us, as you can see, who runs a similar concept. But with Vladov instead of Aeon as his lord. And I would recommend you guys, if you have Vladov, it's probably gonna be better in this comp than Aeon, because the thing is, Cerberus and also Aatrox are going to be your key units for this, and they will deal a lot more damage with a Vladov as their lord as instead of with an Aeon, right? Because they get low and then they will deal so much more damage. And this guy placed his Ardea here, which is already a mistake, but he probably wants to buy time so his Ardea does not fall down. And since it's Ardea, it was still a first round that was quick of him. So you can place him like this, Comet. But I figured that if there's stronger enemies, you can place him like this. And when you have him like this, if there's any units getting through and hit the Nexus, if Comet can hit just one unit here, he will kill the other units here as well automatically and will be able to save the run. So this is just a safety net. It's not as optimal as if you face him up, but this way he has a bit of a safety net. And now we really want to get, as you can see guys, it is hella tight, these fights, it's hella tight. Really want to get our boy out here. Gonna use his ultimate to get rid of these units, because Comet can't hit here on this side because we placed him down, and we got it done. And he has the Comet on a perfect spot. This is dangerous guys. I will show you guys what that will do to a run or in the next fight when I show the next threat. Like that comet spot is so strong, by the way. So Comet just tries his best to basically solo this whole thing. Because he's the GOAT, right? He plays Aeon. Yeah, she's not gonna be that big of a help, but she's gonna be helpful. There we go. He barely cleared it. And he has amazing idea actually with Ardea and Valk. So once Ardea got low, he put in Valk. That's smart. And now Ardea is rinsing. It's a really hard fight here. And it looks a bit scuffed. Yeah, it is a bit scuffed. We lost this one for sure. This team is just too strong. It's just too strong. Now this guy has a really strong team comp, right? So this is why we're going to take this guy and use him as our test object now. And we're gonna use a Vladov here and see how much of a difference Vladov makes to optimize this fight. We will give him some gear just because we want more bell power, right? Now let's see the comparison with Vladov against this guy, because he has a cracked lineup, right? He has Ardea, which is the strongest unit for this because she doesn't rely on her ultimate. She does, unlike most of the other units, not need her ultimate to be amazing for this. So he's gonna do like this. We're gonna start off the same. As before. Gonna use our ulti here. Gonna get rid of these guys. And now we placed a way more aggressive setup here on our comet. You guys will see in a second why we did this. Now first he has to die, perfect. Now that he's dead, get rid of these guys. Now there's one straggler who got through, right? But it's actually fine because we can just place him down. He's gonna get rid of him. There we go. And now this wave, we want to rinse down with Comet as fast as possible with his ultimate before they even get close to the enemies. There we go. Now Comet rinsed them all down, and this is the only time we can get some space, can get something done here. But this guy's defense is so cracked. Like, he gets them down so quickly. Now it is really the last round. Question is, can we make this work, right? Really want to wait as long as possible with his ultimate. And he managed to beat this round immediately again. This guy is such a menace. He's such a menace. But already now we can see this team is really potent. Because this guy's team is nuts. I'm gonna be honest, this guy's team is nuts. Wow. Wow. We lost again. Or did we? Oh, we barely did. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. 2.4%. But Vladov, as you can see, if you have Vladov, this can even improve up your team's damage on top of this, right? Look at Ardea, look at her go. She is so good for this, so good. And now let's put out the big guns here. Let's pull out the big guns, and this is gonna be Venoma's special. This is gonna be Venoma's special. The way we want to do this is we place down our Cerberus early actually. You might think, why are you wasting him? But his ultimate is going to be up immediately due to that. And his ult will just rinse them down. And we barely lost the first round. Then, next up, we get rid of him. Put down Comet up front. Get his ult out. Rinse the whole wave. Boom. And we have to pull out the big guns here. We have to pull out the big guns here. Then Comet again with his ultimate. This spot right here. Most optimally, Comet would rinse these guys even back here as well with his ult, because his Ardea wasn't quick enough. His ult expired though, unfortunately, which is why our Comet didn't get fully the job done. Now we place our last hero down here. Big win, close win, short attack. And now Uridin takes care of this wave. Boom. We have to pull up the big guns here. We have to. Zack. And this is him done. This is him done and dusted. There we go. There we go, guys. This is how we beat the Ardea player, is by overwhelming him with BP. With BP and pure raw strength. And with Comet being the GOAT. You cannot keep up with Comet. And Venoma. Now let's go into the guy with 410k BP and use the same strategy against this guy with 410k BP, yeah? And on top of that, he has a legendary lord as well for all of his units, right? Let's see how well we do. So first up, we're gonna start it off the same way as before as well. We're gonna place down our Cerberus. But we're placing him down a bit further because we like to experiment. This way he gets access to killing them earlier as well, right? Now there we go, our Cerberus is slowly getting the job done. We can get rid of Aatrox. Therefore we get the cost for the next wave. Because we got rid of Aatrox, we got the cost for the next wave for our Comet. And our Comet is gonna take care of this wave before he even gets to do anything. And make it quick. We really want to speedrun these fights here. We really want to speedrun them. Now I'll place him down again. As you can see, he's losing a lot of time. He's losing a lot of time. By the time he has his other unit set up, we already took care of this wave. Now next, what we gotta do is use his ultimate here to stun them and to do more AOE damage, right? Just do more AOE damage, there we go. And we immediately got rid of this wave before anything could hurt us, and we speedrun. We speedrun this. And by now we are all out of resources, but we have Comet backup. We have Comet ult backup, which means Our resources are plenty, and which means this guy is about to lose in this round right now. Boom. And it's over. It's over, and this team hasn't been beaten yet. This team hasn't been beaten yet from anyone. And this is the team I'm gonna abuse, basically. 410 KBP, easy dubs. Easy dubs. Now this team has been beaten though, and I wanna share with you guys which enemies you really want to avoid to fight, because certain team comps are just ridiculously strong. And one of them is going to be if enemies have an Ardea together with a Gon, and Cerberus Aatrox, don't even bother. Like, I had a guy who has Gon, Cerberus, Aatrox, Ardea and Boreas, and you will not win. Especially since these chaotic units are basically the best ones because of their low cost in this arena. You really want to avoid them. Yeah, if you see Ardea with a gun, be careful. And then the other unit you need to be careful of is not Uridin, definitely not, but definitely is going to be a Boreas. He doesn't get used as much as Comet because he's not as many people have him. But Boreas together with one of either Venoma or Cyrus is dangerous as well. A Boreas with a legendary lord or a Ardea with a legendary lord are basically the two biggest threats you could have, and these are basically the ones that you really want to be careful of fighting. And also a chaotic team, even maybe even a chaotic team with Gon and Uridin instead of Ardea will also be menacing, and you want to be careful about that as well. So these are the teams that you want to avoid. And with that said, I think you know basically everything I can teach you about this arena. I hope you have some of the units to make a good run in the new arena and you learned something. And if you did, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I would be really happy about that, and I will promise you to give you good videos, upcoming videos for sure. I have good stuff planned in the future as well. And I'm Ronaldo. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'm out. Peace.